Hey, beautiful Virgo seekers, welcome back or anew to the Existential Shift. Super happy to have you here. Okay, December, we'll be working with Londa Tarot. I feel like this coming month, Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising seekers, it's when you get really, call it pushed, call it inspired, to exercise your philosophical knowledge in practicality. Either live by or be an example for it, serve as an example to others, maybe teach. It's gonna come through as an itch. You're gonna feel like you just write that thing, you gotta make that post, you gotta speak to that audience, etc. The lovers, hello. All the meaning in you, all the faith and the spirit and the philosophy and the poetry within you, that sometimes you kind of camouflage. You don't always let it out. You let it out when it's required or where you feel like it can be of service of some sort, but you don't necessarily wear it on your sleeve and flaunt it, right? But this is when you start wearing it on your sleeve and it gets molded into your exterior persona, behavior. It's actually being more in alignment inside and outside. Not to say that you were hiding it from a place of deceit. No, it was from a place of wisdom. Don't cast pearls in front of swine type of thing, or simply not desiring to showcase everything you know all the time and kind of give other people room. Not this month, and possibly not anymore for some of you. The purpose of your soul and the purpose of how you are, it's time. It's time for it to be shown, to be heard, to be seen. The lovers here, if you think you've been on your path until now, you've been on a path that leads to your path, and now you're being placed on your path. And a lot of things have been shed for a while, some of you weeks, some of you months, some of you years. They say that none of you skin-wise has existed 10 years ago. More than skin, the cells, like all of your cells that you had 10 years ago have been completely replaced. So if most people have like that 10-year cycle of replacing of cells, renewal and shedding, it's been happening to you more frequently, more extensively, in a more condensed way, so more intense, and it took less time. But you've been growing and shedding new skin again and again and again, and your system constantly maintained the aspects that are required for this new avatar, you might want to call it, and has been completely replacing others that were no longer necessary. And it's been a process of both transformation and transmutation and integration. Now, those are words that are being thrown in this community left and right without necessarily the actual alignment with the meaning. It's just words that sound great, I guess, so they're just being said, and I hear it a lot where they're misused. If you want to understand the difference and understand the process behind each of these terms, watch my 13th element on my 13th element playlist. Transmutation, integration, how to. You'll find it, or maybe I'll put it at the end of the screen or down below. We'll see, or you can just find it anyway. So that has been an intense process that you've been undergoing, and now your system is ready to live what it's supposed to live. Okay, the purpose to which you came Wow, it's a big reading. Whoa, Virgo. Intense month, huh? Intense times. 5 of Swords, 5 of Wands, and then, conveniently enough, 6 of Wands. So it's a seesaw, and it's uncomfortable, and it experienced resistance from both your environment and from other aspects of yourself, habits perhaps that aren't comfortable with it. You've created some defense mechanisms over the years that served you, but now with this, they're not going to serve you anymore. You can't be a wallflower anymore, Virgo. And I know saying that to a Virgo is like, what? But I got to be able to be a wallflower sometimes. Yeah, not nearly as much as you were able until now. And your system will ask for it and will kind of try to take you there, but the room won't let you. The room will demand you to speak or to do or to say whatever. And you'll do it, and you'll break through the discomfort, and then you'll be successful at that. And you'll feel really good about it, and the discomfort will be replaced with ease and flow, and you'll be like, oh, okay, that wasn't that hard. Or maybe I can be surrounded with a lot of people now. You're like, what? Maybe I don't have to run away to replenish my energy. Maybe I can restore my energy levels faster than I used to. Maybe I can recover from all the energies of all the people around me faster. Things like that. So it would be also somewhat of a change in personality. This requires you to be more social. Staggy season requires you to be more social. Who would have thought? But yeah, with less retrievals. I have 6, 5, 5, 6, which is 11, 11. 6 and 5 is 11. 6 and 5 is 11. Yeah, alignment between your inner world and your outer world behavior, personality, etc. Again, just to be clear, especially for cross watchers for Virgo, this is not that they have been deceitful or hiding themselves. It's just been a wise, smart, needed mechanism to literally, emotionally, mentally, and energetically survive in the world for Virgos. Okay, so but now they've gained more power, more life force, and they can do it. You can do it. Show me more, please, for my Virgos. Okay. King of Swords and the Tower. SyMbOLs are not people, don't belong for people to mold into whatever it is they want it to be. That's not freedom of expression or creativity. That is disrespect and cultural appropriation. This is an Ankh. It's an ancient Egyptian symbol. It means something, right? If society, people learn that, yes, they can transform reality with, quantum physics, and thought creates reality and manifestation, all that is great. But that doesn't, it's not copy pasted, or it does not apply to narcissistic takeovers, right? Still, we need to honor and respect the things that have beautiful, meaningful interpretation. So what happens when we lose our ability to read symbols for what they symbolize? What happens when we start giving them our own creative interpretation? Because we can. Not everything that we can do, we should do. It has a lot of dangers to it. takes you down the cycle of the shadow expression of manifesting reality. It takes you straight to hell, if you want to call it that. Because if you're unable to read a symbol for what it is, if you assume whoever is waving it, maybe they have their own different interpretation. Maybe it's not like that. Maybe it's not that bad. Then you don't know how to read and interpret language. If A can be C, can be D, can be Z, how on earth will you recognize an A? There has to be respect and validity to things to do with communication. Symbols need to be honored for what they are so that we are, in turn, are able to not only read the other, but also be read by the other. If language no longer matters, if symbols no longer matter, if letters no longer matter. Oh, I said this, but I actually meant this, but you said that. Yeah, but my inside, I meant something completely different. That is such a dangerous, slippery slope that we've already went down. And now we need recovering from that. So Virgo, you are very studious. You're very intellectual. You're very knowledgeable. You're a sign of knowledge and of study, of teaching. You gotta hold on to the meaning of language and of symbols. If that breaks down, there's no way to teach, and there's no way to learn, and there's no way to plan, and there's no way to be ready and prepared against danger. Because if they're walking down the streets chanting hateful words and waving hateful flags, but society brushes it off, oh, they don't mean it like that. That's the irony. They very much so do. And this applies, this is just a reflection, what's going on right now. It's a reflection of what we've been causing ourselves, what we've been doing from a place of conflating manifestation and creativity and divinity with narcissism and megalomania and tyranny. You don't get to walk in and change what the Ankh means. You don't have that authority, nor should you. And when you understand that and honor that, you recognize that no one else has that authority. And then you recognize that words mean something. Symbols mean something. Flags mean something. They're not random. So what's going on in your life, Virgo? What are the symbols? What is the communication? What is being said to you that has no room for your creative interpretation in order to fit whatever it is you want it to be? Because that's not creativity, that's denial. You got to be really sharp right now with your mind, with your ability to discern, to see, to learn, to analyze, to read the letters, but also between the letters, the print, but also the fine print. You're very good at detail. Bring that out. And also explain to people. October has been a collapse, right? This is Libra season, Tower. It's been a collapse that showed us the belly of the beast is full of bacteria and fungus and disease, where the immune system and the digestive system are dysfunctional. Because if there's no difference between probiotic and antibiotic, why on earth should one take probiotics? I mean, it all just means the same thing. No. All the cards don't mean the same thing. Two of Cups and 10 of Cups are not the same just because they both speak about love. It's a different type of love. It's a different stage in the journey. The kings don't mean queens, and the queens don't mean kings. You have the pages for that. You see it everywhere, this conflation, this inability to read things, this disrespect, this, oh, I don't want to study tarot properly. It takes a long time. I may as well just be an intuitive, creative reader. And then all the cards mean everything. Basically, I'll just puke my subconscious onto people and presume for it to be messages from spirit. Because that's what happens when you don't learn things for what they symbolize to many people throughout time. You give room to your desires or your fears to be expressed under the guise of reading reality or spirit. Most readers today are dangerous. Not only that they're bad and not good, they're dangerous. Yes, even though they put on a lot of hearts emojis on their captions and on their, I don't know, thumbnail. And you see it in everything. You see it in tarot, you see it in protests, you see it in politics, you see it in colleges, you see it in everything. In agreements that are no longer agreements. Oh, I said that to you, but I actually meant this and that. What? Virgo, you can't be a part of that. You need to be the antithesis to that. And yes, language can change and alter, but it needs to be a collective, meaningful change. If everyone knows a symbol to be X, you can't go around yatter that it's a Y. You want it to become a Y, start a movement, explaining it, then have people follow you. And then once that movement is strong enough and valid enough and has, validity behind it, then you can start referring to that X as Y. Okay. But right now, it's just being blind. Oh, it's not a knife they're holding. It's just a magic wand. They actually love me deep inside. Oh no, they're charging at me. This is, it's a simulation. It's not happening. And then the person that will jump to protect you is the kind of person that right now people disrespect. But in moment of truth, will pray for. And that is the bottom line. That's where truth is, at the bottom line. At the bottom line, do all the words mean anything? At bottom line, does your creative interpretation of a symbol mean anything? Bottom line, moment of truth, life and death. No? Shh. That's how you need to tell them. That's what you need to say to these people. No, it doesn't. Then shh. It's okay to obtain knowledge before speaking, and until then to be quiet. You can say that to people, Virgo. I'm saying it to people all the time. 10 of Pentacles, there you go. Now that is richness of culture, of society, of relationships, of connection, of friendship, understanding one another, understanding what each brings to the table, not washing off every single symbol, but letting it be what it is. This is a jewelry, this is a coin, this is a dress, this is a hair, and all together form this beautiful fabric, tapestry of this beautiful woman. Same here with this man and the sword. When someone is willing to stand up and fight for what is true, That's really sexy. I mean, look at how she's like leaning towards him. That's sexy, you know? It gives, whether conscious or subconscious, a sense of safety and security. I know that this is a table, hence I know that I can put my laptop on it and do my cards and film and do the work. If I don't know it's a table, I don't know what to do with it. Can I change it into a chair? Of course. But first I need to acknowledge that it's not a chair. And then I need to plan how, you know, I need the tools, I need the plan and how to do it. And then I can turn it into a chair with skill, with talent, with work, with knowledge. But I'm not just going to sit here and be like, oh, it's a chair. What am I going to do to make it a chair? Oh, I actually don't want it to be a chair. I actually like that it's a table. So what I just did now in the past 30 seconds, even though it seemed simple to the level of like any child can comprehend, people are not, they're not, they're not acting like it. I feel like I need to reiterate, and I'm not necessarily reiterating this to you. I'm reiterating this to you so that you reiterate it to others. So if you're like, yeah, I know. I'm reminding you so you can't leave it inside. You need to express it to your circles, because the world is, and you need to see. I didn't say a word. I did signs. You understood exactly what I meant. Imagine if those things don't mean anything anymore. The collapse of the Tower of Babylon, symbolically enough, the tower can also speak of Migdal Bavel, the Tower of Babel, that they tried to build it to be as close to God as possible. And God was like, no, that's vain. You can't do that. And so not only that, God broke down that tower that they tried to raise all the way up to the sky, according to the story, but God also confused everyone into different languages so that they won't be able to cooperate. They won't be able to rebuild because they won't be able to communicate with each other. So not being able to communicate, losing language, losing meaning, that's a curse. That's a punishment. It's either a punishment from God or a curse from the devil. Either way, you don't want that. Heritage is coming through really strong. It's a time to bring forth heritage, symbolism, meaning, intention, promises that mean something. Quote, the nature of promises is that they remain immune to changing circumstances, but that seems to have been lost. Five of Pentacles and who are you really? I feel like it's just reiterating what I just said. When you lose that, you lose yourself. Who are you really? And I'm not picking up like on a philosophical endeavor, an experience of like expansion and figuring out the different levels of our existence. No, that's cool. This comes from a place of deprivation and loss and poverty, either material poverty and or spiritual poverty. Right? If you can't live up to your promises, that's spiritual poverty. If you don't show up for what it is you say you'll show up for, that's spiritual poverty. And that can manifest as financial poverty. Why are we going from here to here? What is that? It's a major contrast. This person knows who they are. And this represents spiritual and material abundance, riches. And this, complete opposite, something is lost. So you're either finding yourself being this in a world of this, or you find yourself in danger of being this and you need to be inspired by this idea. Which one is it? I'm going to show you the cards. I'm going to pull more cards. But first, let's take a 90 seconds, no, 1 minute break. דורות האפתר או אורת התור אהבתור. The wheel of life speaks the laws of love. Hello there, beautiful Tarochi. Morgainne, the Existential Shift here. You want to undergo a true spiritual quest, a shamanic journey, the path of the heart to discover the bunkai, the secret applications of tarot. You are so fed up with the superficial books you can find everywhere, with information that you can find everywhere. What about the deep stuff? From different cultures, different times in history. What about the other occult systems within it, like astrology, numerology, Kabbalah, Greek mythology? I've put all of it within 90 pre-recorded classes that I made just for you. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, hour long, within my own private living room with me. Feels like a one-on-one. And you get to truly learn tarot. Go to vimeo.com/on-demand/tarot masterclass. Or click the direct link below in the description box. All right, good job. What else for Virgo for December? Anything else? Before we move on to the sequel, you'll find the sequel in the description box, the link to. Okay. The Hierophant, beautiful. So heritage is coming through again. Legacy, wisdom, taught wisdom, generation to generation. When it's a good one, when it's a strong one, it needs to be honored. When it's cult-like, when it's bad, when it's oppressive, it needs to be changed, of course. But the good stuff are coming through, needing to be lived by. Let's rearrange and see what we can come up with. So we have the Lovers, the Tower, and the Hierophant as the major arcanas. And then we have 3 5s. Oh my goodness. 3 5s. Six of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, King of Swords. No, it came out. 6 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, King of Swords, and who are you really? Okay. So 5, 6, 7. Hierophant, Lovers, and the Tower is 16, making it 7. It's actually 4 5s. There is material and oh wait, I'm going into the this is me going into the sequel. Okay. I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to clarify, also add more cards and clarifications. Link to your sequel is below. Thank you so much for joining me, Seekers. Stay magic, stay true, and I love you.